Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the LIV Golf Invitational Bedminster, the 10 a.m. press conference. We have 3 new LIV Golf signees that are joining with us today for their first event. We have Charles Howell III, who's joining us with Team Crushers, captained by Bryson DeChambeau. We've got Jason Kokrak, who is joining Team Smash, captained by Brooks Koepka. And we have Paul Casey joining us on Team Crushers as well, also captained by Bryson DeChambeau. So welcome, guys.
Thank you.
I'll start off with Charles and Paul, since you guys are joining with Bryson. Can you guys tell us a little bit about how this happened and how you guys got on Bryson's team and just a little background there?
Well, first off, Paul and I have known each other for many years, from back in the college golf days and before. Bryce and I have had a relationship for quite some time. I've always liked the mechanics and the technicality of golf and the game, and that's kind of built our friendship a bit. And I'm not quite as crazy as Bryson, but I'm getting there. And Bryson reached out to me a couple months back about the possibility of this. And listen, this is something I've followed and kept track of for some time, and something I was excited about. When he reached out to me, that opened the door for me, and I couldn't be happier. And have him and obviously Paul Casey as a teammate. I'm really excited to get going.
I never thought I'd have you as a teammate, Charles.
I
I'll be honest.
understand.
I mean,
Do you guys want to sit next to each other?
We might.
My first experience of playing with Bryson probably goes back to the Masters, still in his amateur days. There's very few players, and as long as I've been on tour, that have kind of made me sit up and pay attention to a golf game such as Bryson's. Unbelievable talent, hugely impressive. Charles and I, obviously, we go back a long, long way, 20 plus years. When he was at Okie State, I was at Arizona State. So, I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be, it's been talked about before, but I'll reiterate it. The team element is something that's got me very, very excited. And to be included when Bryson called me, I was in Arizona just at home at the time, chilling, working on trying to be healthy. Got off the phone with a spring in the step and excitement for the next chapter of my life.
Awesome, love to hear it. Jason, what about you with Brooks? How'd that come about?
Well, Brooks and I have been friends for quite a few years. Play a lot of practice rounds together, kind of similar games. We both hit it pretty far. He hits a little fade, I hit a little draw, and it's, we have a good time on the golf course and off. So when he called me, said, this seems like a fun atmosphere along with his brother, and it's going to be a lot of fun hanging out with these guys, going through what seems to be going to be the time of my life, a new chapter, and really looking forward to getting after it this week in my first event and all the other events down the road.
Awesome, well, welcome to the team, guys. We'll open it up to the media. I'll start with Mike McAllister.
Yeah, this is for all 3. Just wanted to get a sense of what kind of feedback or chatter you guys got from either the first 2 events, talking to other players or maybe some caddies, and how much that might have influenced you guys to join LIV.
Well, for me, I was a guy who was, these 2 guys were still playing. I've been out injured. My return from injury was a couple of weeks ago at St. Andrews. So I was, I guess, sitting on the fence, for lack of a better term, and tuned in and watched the first event online at Centurion. And there's something about it. I don't tend to watch a lot of golf on TV, but there was something about that which really kind of, made up my mind, plain and simple. The format, the compactness of the entertainment, into a small window. I think you couple that with then, I talked to a lot of guys. As you guys know, I'm close with, Poulter and Westy and all these guys, and I reached out to them and discussed it. I think without the success of those first 2 events, I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Yeah, kind of the same for me. I don't watch a lot of golf, like Paul said, but tuning in, talking to a couple of the players that played the first couple of events, and they said, it was amazing, great experience. watching and seeing guys on the 18th green, which you never see on, very rarely on a PGA Tour event. The camaraderie, cheering each other on, from a team perspective, was a lot of fun. Being on the fence for a little while, seeing that kind of tip the scales and made me a lot more interested. And then when Brooks called me, it was a no-brainer.
Well, I watch a lot of golf, so it's I couldn't wait to watch it. I watched obviously London. I watched Portland. I had memories of Pumpkin Ridge from when I lost to Tiger there in the U.S. Amateur, and it looked fantastic. It looked awesome. I'm a big Formula One fan, so I liked how the leaderboard on the left-hand side, how it was counting down. And also, too, Greg Norman was my hero as a kid growing up. Every year at the Masters in Augusta, I couldn't wait to get out there and watch Greg Norman play. And, man, he was an idol. I had a life-size cardboard cutout of Greg in my room back in his Spalding days. And he was just the man. And, to be a part of something he's a part of and have him as the leader of this it's awesome. And for a kid like me, growing up, I could have never imagined it.
Awesome. Dan, Golf Digest. If you guys could say your name and which outlet you're with, that'd be great. Thanks.
Dan, Golf Digest. Yes. All three of you guys have been members of the PGA Tour for quite a long time. I'm just wondering, what were some of the drawbacks that you considered about your decision, and why did you guys decide to go through with it?
There's a long answer to that, I think, which I'm probably not going to try to explain here. There's been a lot written. The focus always seems to be money, let's be honest. But for my decision, and I can't speak for the other guys, there's a lot more to this. And as a guy who's played multiple tours through the years, the toll that's taken, let me be clear, my desire for competition has not waned in any way. If anything, it's probably higher than it's ever been. And my desire to play the best golf I possibly can, in the latter half of my career is still there. But yeah, there's a lot more to my decision of sitting here than just a financial opportunity and less golf. But I was very aware of the ramifications of making this choice. The PGA Tour is something, it was a goal of mine to play on the PGA Tour. But and it's been an incredible journey, but I'm also a guy who's won on multiple tours. I think 5, Australasian, Asian, Korean, European Tour, and PGA Tour. And I'd love to add a LIV victory to that as well. So I've never pigeonholed myself, and I think one day maybe sit down and talk to some guys about the complexities of the decision I had to make and why I did it. But I'm very, very excited to be sitting here right now trying to get another victory on another tour.
Yeah, the PGA Tour has given me everything I've ever wanted. It was always my dream as a little kid to play at the highest level, play against these guys sitting next to me, play against the best players in the world, and I wouldn't change any part of that. It's been a true blessing to be able to do what I do for a living. But, as Paul said, there's many facets to making this decision. The time at home, financial, you name it. It's, all the factors I weighed in for sure. But, I think this gives me a new perspective, invigorates me. I'm more passionate, it kind of, lit a fire under me. It's, to get a call from one of the best players in the world to team up with him and, go down this avenue with him is, it's another blessing, and really looking forward to that opportunity.
Yeah, so, I've had 22 wonderful years on the PGA Tour. I looked the other day, I've played 608 events on the PGA Tour. I never was a global player, per se. We did the Asia Swing in 2019, and I've played the odd event other than outside the U.S. and that. So, for me, this is something new. It's exciting. 22 years with the PGA Tour, I was ready for this, for a change. And I'm also ready to travel internationally and to see other parts of the world. It's also been no secret that, you know, my family loves to travel when they can and to show, you know, my kids other parts of the world, not just, you know, that the United States of America isn't the world. You know, there's a lot out there, and that's something important to me as well. And listen, I think, you know, these things have a way of working themselves out. And I think the goal should be that you should be able to play where you want to play. It's golf. And for the fans, for the betterment of everything, I hope it works out.
608 events.
It's a lot.
Hi, over here. Christine Brennan, USA Today. Good to see all of you. You guys have been given a big platform. You're important to MBS. You're important to the Saudis, obviously, with the role you play now. And over the last few weeks, we've heard a lot of you guys, Phil and others, talk about growing the game, doing good things, right? So there are a lot of opportunities for that in every country, and certainly for Saudi Arabia. As you, I'm sure, know, gay people are subject to capital punishment, and women's rights, obviously, are way behind men's rights. So curious, Paul, we've talked before at Ryder Cups. I know you're smart people. I know you get it. I know you understand the platform you have. Would you speak out right now on those issues?
I've been to the Kingdom a couple of times, and I've seen change happening in the Kingdom, so I can confidently say that change is happening and that what we do is having a positive effect.
You personally?
I've been there, and I've seen change, and I've talked to the people there. I played with a young girl in the Pro-Am at the Saudi Invitational earlier this year, 17 years old. I played with her father. I played with another lady who's a human rights lawyer. And they were brilliant company, entertaining. And that young girl spoke of how things have changed, and that just in the last couple of years since she took up the game of golf, how things have radically changed for her and her family, and that opportunity wouldn't have been there more than a couple of years ago. And that was such a positive experience for me. That was one of the reasons why I love being a golfer and traveling the world and meeting people. She was excited because she was going to be a scrutineer at the Formula One race later that year. And she just said, yeah, stuff is changing. She's looking forward to driving. You know, these are all things which just like, change is happening. Look, it's a case of, you know, it's not where you're at, it's where you're going. And so there's many places on the planet that I've been to, that I've been paid to go to, which I'm not sure I can say the same thing in terms of their trajectory. But I can honestly look you in the eye and say that I see a trajectory, a positive trajectory in the Kingdom. And it was a really good experience that I've had when I've been there, and I hope that continues.
And gay rights as well. Guys, do you want to talk about that?
It's not a subject I know enough about to speak about.
Yeah, I agree with Paul. I don't know enough about the subject to speak on it, but I also got to play with that young girl. I think, was she 15 or 17?
Hytham was her father.
Okay.
And,
I played with another young girl, she's 15, brilliant little girl, very eloquent, and a pleasure to play with, and I really enjoyed it. And as Paul said, change is happening. I've been there a couple of different times, and you know, there's nothing else I can say. I mean, the change is happening. It's a new direction, and as you said, it's where you're going, not where you've been.
So I've never been to Saudi Arabia. I'm excited to go. And, you know, being a sports fan, I believe sports can be a force for good and change. And example, in Saudi Arabia, Lewis Hamilton, Formula One driver, speaks out on these issues. We're speaking out on these issues right now and today. And that's the first step of change. I believe golf can, will be, and is a force for change and good. And that's why I'm sitting here.
Adam, did you have a question? No? Oh, okay. James?
Hi, Paul. Hi, mate.
Hello, sir.
Hi. I just wondered if you got any concerns about the Ryder Cup. We obviously saw Henrik's standing down as captain or being removed, stripped of captaincy, whichever way you want to refer to it. Did you know, it's obviously a match that's dear to your heart. Do you have concerns for it in the future?
Yeah, I do. You know, as I said before, you know, I was aware of the ramifications of my decision You know, but I, and it's not, I guess it's not the rules and decisions that are going to be put in place are out of my hands. I would still love to be a part of that, but if I'm not, and then there's, I guess there's nothing I can do. You know, I'm not going to, yeah, I'd love to be a part of it. I'm actually not sure what to tell you, because I mean, it's such an amazing thing. You know, some of the moments I've had, some of the teams I've been a part of, even the bad moments, I mean, they're amazing. To know that there's a possibility that a lot of us are going to miss out on that, I'm not sure what to tell you yet, because I guess we don't know. Right now, we're all in limbo, which is a bit frustrating. Yeah, I don't know. What was that?
I said it would be a shame if it was the major casualty
It
in
would
all
be
of this.
it would be a massive shame. Yeah, I mean, like the players are not. You know, the players are making their decisions, obviously, but the players are not trying to damage the game. You know, we leave this to those in charge of the tour. You know, in this case, this is left with Mr. Pelly, Mr. Kinnings. You know, and and I could actually ask them some questions. You know, we could ask Mr. Kinnings why the relationship deteriorated between the European Tour and Saudi Golf. You know, we've got a lot of questions, but right now they all seem to be coming our way, not his way.
Brian?
Hey, Brian Wacker, New York Post. Just for the group, a couple of different questions. One, the details of relegation have come out and so forth for future plans for LIV. What do you ultimately hope that this endeavor leads to from a playing perspective?
Oh, well. Well, I mean, I think we're all extremely excited about the team format of it. So I think you've got a very structured product going forward. You have the players that you know are going to play and where they're going to play. I think relegation is also a big part of it in exchanging guys in and out, keeping fresh blood. Also, it's also the incentive, more incentive, right, to keep playing well and keep playing good, but also for other players to play their way on. So, this is, and this relegation, by the way, it's real. Like with the PGA Tour at times, you can still fall to 126 to 150. You can fall to past champion and still play X amount of times. This goes to 0. So to me, I think, right? I mean, I think it's more of a relegation in golf than we've seen before. But really neat that there's a way to play yourself back on, or new blood and younger blood to come on.
Yeah, I mean, the team aspect is amazing. The format, as Charles said, is real. The relegation, if you don't play well, then, you're gone. It's not, you don't play a different tour. You don't, fall into a different category. It's, you have to keep your game sharp and play the best you can. And, it's a game. It's supposed to be fun. We're up here to have fun and enjoy each other's company. I think.
I'm trying to beat you.
You said you've won on 5 tours, right?
Yes.
I'm going to try to keep that
Okay,
from
thanks.
being 6.
Just 2 questions, one for Charles specifically and one for Paul. Charles, why did you join? Is it as simple as guaranteed money?
No, money didn't play a role.
He's played
in this.
600 plus events. Charles made an awful lot of money. It's not about money.
22 years on the PGA Tour.
So, no, money was not a factor. It's, for me, I've been there for 22 years, and it's been awesome. I've got nothing but great things to say about the PGA Tour, what they've given me, the opportunities, et cetera. But, when this came along, I'm 43 years old. I've done a lot of that, and I still love the game. I love the game more today than I did 5 years ago. And now that my son is playing competitive golf, I'm even more incentivized in the game. And, this is something really new and exciting. As these guys have alluded to, like, I even got a bit more excited when someone, let's say Bryson, reaches out and says, I'd love for you to be a part of my team, that's a compliment, but it's also a responsibility. Okay, I've got to play well. I'm responsible not only for myself, but for Paul, for Bryce, and for others. So it's new and exciting. And not that the PGA Tour got boring, but I'm extremely excited to be here for the next few years. And it's a new venture. At this age and this part of my life was perfect.
And then just for Paul, lastly, you were once a UNICEF ambassador, and you'd spoken publicly, obviously, about not going to Saudi because of that relationship. What changed for you?
I then went to Saudi while I still had that relationship, as they reminded me, it's about inclusion, and by not engaging and not participating and not traveling to countries, you harden positions if you do that. You have to be inclusive. They actually encouraged me to go. They operate there. This choice I've made is, there are multiple factors of why I've made this decision to join LIV. The biggest one is as Charles said, is family. I mean, there's a lot of other factors, but the main one is family. And so, I have to take care of my family first. And that's not a financial thing. That's because I want to spend more time playing 2 tours, playing 28, 30 weeks a year, traveling around the planet. I mean, it's led to injuries, it's led to time off, it's led to a lot of stuff that people have no idea what I deal with. And so trying to simplify my life, play a little less golf at hopefully a much higher level, take care of my family first, that's a decision I've made.
Bob?
My question's for Paul.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, Paul. I was just following on from Jamie a little bit about the European Tour, which is a lot more murky at the moment than the PGA Tour situation, which is indefinite suspensions.
Yeah.
They haven't done that on the European Tour. Would it be your desire to keep playing European Tour events to keep your membership there? And obviously that leads to the Ryder Cup.
Yeah, I think that was something when I looked at the first couple of events, I saw a lot of the pressers, and I saw guys being critiqued for, wanting to play European Tour events still, and they were critiqued. They're like, hang on, taken to task because guys saying, well, you want to play less golf, but now you want to play more golf. Guys never said they didn't want to play European Tour. As you know, I mean, I've always made a choice, there's been a time when I've actually given up my European Tour membership because playing 2 tours was too difficult. In this scenario, yeah, I think a lot of guys would love to play LIV and also retain their European Tour membership and then be part of the Ryder Cup if they can. That's a question that you've got to pose to Keith and his team. What happened earlier this year, I mean, I wasn't a part of it, but fines being handed out for playing without a release. I've played many a tournament without a release and was never fined. And suddenly the goalposts are changing. So it seems as if the CEO kind of has discretion. And so I think it's a very fluid situation, very murky, as you've just said. I would love to still be part of the Ryder Cup, but if that is not an option, then that's not an option.
Great, Mark?
Hey guys, this is for all 3 of you. Mark Cannizzaro from the New York Post. Good to see you guys here. Greg went to the Ryder Cup, the last Ryder Cup. I think he said it was the first one he'd gone to, and it opened his eyes to the team thing. I'm just curious as to where you see this team thing going, and because golf fans are not used to that, and why you think it'll work, and how long you think it'll take to stick.
Well, I think golf has been a similar game for all eternity. Charles has been a member for a long time. This is a new and exciting way to invigorate the sport. I think it's going to bring new audiences and a different type of draw to the team aspect. You see how big the Ryder Cup and team events are. And I think a lot of players are going to enjoy the team camaraderie as well as, the fans and everybody else watching.
Yeah, if you look at the NCAA golf, Mike Holder, who I played for at Oklahoma State, and who's still a super close friend today, is, when they got the NCAA golf on television, a big deal was to highlight the teams. How can we do this? Hence, they cut the stroke play down, and then the team format, match play, becomes a big focal point, and it's taken off. And I've already had people ask me, I'm sure as they have, of, they want gear, they want hats, they want T-shirts, they want this, and I think it's something new. It's a new way to follow golf. It's a new way to cheer for a certain amount of guys, but also we know who's going to play every single week, and so then there's a bit of continuity on that. I mean, I know, and listen, we're still learning too. We're still learning how it's all going to work out. I'm sure Bryson and some of those guys could speak better to it than I could.
Great. Last question from Alan.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Can I ask, back to the team thing, I've got,
Yeah, I want Paul to answer that too.
can you ask it one more time? I'm sorry, just ask the question, just.
Just, golf fans are not used to team stuff, and I just want to wonder if the fan is ever really going to truly embrace team stuff. With Ryder Cup, obviously, it's a very impassioned thing. Can this ever be to that level?
I guess we'll find out, won't we? This exists. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be created. It exists. I mean, the full league has been announced. Is that right? Full league has been announced. 14 events next year. The teams are going to be set. I think sports fans understand teams. So this just adds another layer. What I hope is that these teams will then transcend once I've moved on and Charles and eventually you, we've all moved on, that it would be very, very cool if the teams transcend players and it becomes an element. I mean, it does in the Ryder Cup, It's Team USA, Team Europe. Players come and go. So, I mean, the truth is, I don't know. We're going to find out, and I want to be a part of it and put my energy into it. We'll see. Thanks.
Jaime.
Hi, Jaime Diaz with Golf Channel. For the three of you, don't mind, if this fragmentation of players going to LIV starts to severely damage or even end the PGA Tour and or the DP Tour, would you guys feel responsible and would you feel regret at your decision?
Jaime, thank you for the question, but there's a lot to this and to our decisions, why we've made the decision to be sitting here right now. None of us, I think speaking for the three of us sitting up here, none of us are intending to damage golf or damage the tour. I'm a guy who sat on the European Player Committee for many years. I've sat on the Player Advisory Council for many, many years. In fact, I retired and then they asked me to come back because of my input. I know the fabric of this game pretty well on the inside, on the tour level. At no time have I ever tried to damage the tour and the decision that I've made. If it's damaged, I think the questions have to be asked somewhere else.
Yeah, this decision, with all the facets for each one of us, we did it for our own reasons. We're not wishing any ill will at all towards the PGA Tour. There's new upcoming players left and right trying to take our jobs all the time. So I don't think the PGA Tour, or any tour for that matter, is going to go anywhere. I think golf is gaining ground across the globe. And I think it's growing at an exponential rate. So I think you're going to see more and more golf, more players coming up, and I think all these tours can play alongside each other without any hesitation or anything else going on. So I think we all can play nicely and have a good time. That it's a game. It's supposed to be fun. And I bring it up to my buddies at home, and they're hanging their heads and not hitting a shot well. I'm like, guys, we're supposed to have fun out here. This is a game. It's entertainment. Like, have a good time. Like, I want people on the PGA Tour to have a good time. I want these guys to have a good time on their respective teams and, you know, across the globe, no matter what tour. So I don't think anybody's going to have, you know, I don't think that you're going to see any other tours die off or anything like that because there's more and more golf, more and more players.
Yeah, the only thing I'd add to that, you know, golf's popularity is booming, and obviously through so many more channels covering it, from Golf Channel and all of social media aspects, et cetera. And there's a lot of smart people in golf, and there's a lot of smart people that sort of, you know, control the strings of golf, if you will. And hopefully, sooner than later, those smart people will get in a room and get together and figure this out. And as I said earlier, these things have a way of working themselves out. And I truly believe that's where this will end. No one's up here or is going to tee it up this week to damage the game of golf. My goodness. I mean, I'm a self-admitted golf nerd for my whole life. I mean, that's the last thing I'd ever want to do. So, like I said, there's a lot of smart people with LIV League, and these things have a way of working themselves out.
Thank you guys so much. Welcome to Team LIV, and good luck this week, guys. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Yeah. Stand up. You got it, bud.